Well, the people have spoken, and now we know what could be unburdened by the past or whatever.
The scope and scale of this victory is sweeping.
This is a moment in history that the majority of the country has spoken.
This is a Democratic Party that has been just wiped out this morning.
A result like this is historical. He won the popular vote. You cannot dismiss over half of the country as garbage or fascists, or you have to contend with this now. That's what we're going to be seeing. That's what's going to be so remarkable, is to see the reality that this must be contended with. That's what last night was all about.
He became only the second Republican to win a majority of the popular vote since 1988.
This is a big deal. I'm interpreting the results tonight as the revenge of just the regular old working class American, the anonymous American who has been crushed, insulted, condescended to. They're not garbage. They're not Nazis. They're just regular people who get up and go to work every day and are trying to make a better life for their kids, and they feel like they have been told to just shut up.
The majority of the country is saying, this has got to stop. They're not afraid to say, we disagree, and that's okay to disagree.
I've heard a lot of people talk about the conversations we need to have, and I think we do need to have conversations as a party.
I don't understand this response from CNN.
Many of the communities that are most vulnerable and that are really afraid right now, the trans community, immigrants, people of color.
Why is the trans community afraid? What has Trump, J.D. Vance ever said, speaking out against transgender operations in children? How does that jeopardize your ability to identify as trans? You live in Massachusetts, message me on Discord. We can sit down, you can sit right there and we can have a conversation about this, and you can explain to me how I'm wrong, because I'm not seeing it.
Even if there's polling or outcomes that are showing that some people of color voted for Donald Trump.
Some people of color voted for Donald Trump. That's an understatement.
I also feel like this election, as we sit here and pour over this tonight, is something of an indictment of the political information complex. I mean, we've been sitting around here for the last couple of weeks, and the story that was portrayed was not true.
In these last months, we have seen the biggest shift in the media landscape of my lifetime in regards to independent voices versus CNN, Fox News. It was a major mistake being so cocky just to throw that away with Joe Rogan. Just for once, just meet people where they are and go to him, play by him, be like, yeah, you want to do 3 minutes? We'll do it in your space. We'll do it for the 3 hours. I'm going to be a guest on your show, rather than turning it into the Kamala Harris show, making Joe Rogan play by your rules. There was an arrogance there that cost you greatly.
And we were just ignoring the fundamentals. Inflation, people feeling like that they were barely able to tread water at best. That was the fundamentals of the election. And so I think that both parties should always look at the results of an election and figure out what went right and what went wrong.
The question is, will they learn from their mistakes? That's what I think cost them the election, was not being able to recognize when you are playing a foolish game or doing something foolish.
We have to figure out how to understand, talk to, and listen to the half of the country that rose up tonight and said, we've had enough.
Let's see what the response to this is.
I think we have to listen to everybody, actually. The people who voted for Kamala Harris are struggling too. They're feeling ignored too. A Republican's pain is no greater than less than a Democratic's pain.
Wow, well, I wish that was being articulated sooner. A Republican's pain is no greater or less than a Democrat's. Amen. I wish, where was that message before?
I'm a little worried about how Democrats are going to react. They've been told Trump is a modern day Hitler, or at least he's a fascist. Half the country was conditioned to believe that the person who just won the national popular vote is going to be a dictator, eliminate the Constitution, and create a bloodbath, and so on and so forth. So,
can I say something about that? The thing I think is most important to remember is the people who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats. They were Republicans. That he was a fascist.
People who said he was a Hitler were Republicans. You have literally done that. Your network has literally done that. There's video of it. How could you possibly have lost? I just don't.
There are African American women who know a little bit about being talked down to, and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who tried to dream a big dream over the past couple of months.
African American women that voted for Trump, there are many out there that did. This is what cost you the race, was looking at people through this lens of skin color.
And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy.
Why do you feel like that candidate, Kamala Harris, is one of your own because of her skin color? Not grouping people into these racial and gender groups, which is exactly what we're seeing right here. Even in the face of defeat, it seems as though you're learning nothing.
And once again, they're facing rejection. And that hurts. They thought tomorrow morning they're going to walk out with their shoulders back a little bit, maybe able to breathe for the first time.
You've been in office for the past 4 years.
And feel like they belong someplace. They did everything that they knew how to do. And it's going to be harder than it should be tomorrow for them to hold their heads up.
Destiny, the commentator on YouTube, posted something on X 2 days prior to the election, which is actually right. He said in 2 days' time, one side is about to face a reckoning unlike anything they've ever seen. That proved to be correct. I don't think it was the result. I do not think it was the result he was anticipating. I think people are waking up today, metaphorically and literally. And you're going to start seeing content creators posting, responding to this, and it's sinking in. What really cost them the race was not learning from their mistakes. So the question is now, will they continue on? Will people be able to learn and reflect and be willing to acknowledge that, look, the majority of this country disagrees with me. Maybe they have something to say. Maybe they have something worth listening to. So instead of attacking them, dismissing them, calling them fascist, and trying to literally jail people, just get off the horse, just stop, just take a breath, pause, and meet them where they are.